Hello friends, so let us go over another problem from LeetCode. The problem name is interleaving strings. Cool. So the problem goes like this, that you're given three strings S1, S2 and S3, and you have to find that whether S3 can be formed by interleaving S1 and S2. So this is also one pseudo part that is given to you, that if you take S1 as concatenation of n elements, like n characters, S1 plus S2, just like if you take code explainer, so CODE and EXPLNAR, and same for T. And if you want to form another string, such that if you take some combinations of that, so as you can see that if you have A B C C and D B B C A, so you can like put them. The order should be same, so A should come here, and then you cannot put C directly. So the order should be maintained, but you just have to interleave both of these strings, such that the final string is the like interleaving of the original two strings, and whether it is possible or not. That's the whole problem. Now, the first thing which comes to my mind when I was like thinking about this problem solution is ki maybe I can use two pointers, like just place two pointers, one pointer at this point and another pointer at this point, and the third pointer at the initial point of this whole string, and just whatever character I have, just keep on putting that. But I can like generally in a one or two example, I just find out that that is not obviously 100% accurate solution. Let us see one example. So let us see that I have one example, that is AABCC, and the other one is also like AA and then CCB. Cool. And my answer is like this. If I want to form this string as S3, that is AAB AA, okay, and then AA, okay, and then maybe CCB. Now if you turns out start these two pointers and as well as these two pointers, now if you take that, if I take these two A, then only I can move forward. That if I take these two A's and then this B and then these two A's and then these two C's and this B, so this is fine, that this is answer perfect. But if by mistake your two pointers move like this, that if you take this A and move this forward for this A, match them out, because these are also A, if you match them out, then it happens that you reach at this C and you reach at this B, and this is at A originally. So like it turns out to be that the answer is not happening. So this is not possible, which means that greedy doesn't work here. Like two point is like just like greedy, you just take whatever easy solution you have at your point. You have A at this point, so you take whatever A, and it turns like it's a greedy approach. But this is not a greedy approach, so because you cannot take this as approach, and the answer is coming out to be false, what you can see at this example. So if greedy doesn't work, let us see that what are the constraints. Okay, so if you just go on the constraints, the length is very small, 100. So it means that okay, length is very small, greedy doesn't work, it sounds like greedy, so it means that it is a dynamic programming problem. So in dynamic programming problem, you have to define the like substates. Okay, and when it turns out to be a dynamic programming problem, it becomes also not very difficult to understand that you have to define states. Okay, so how you can define out states? Your base condition is that the first condition which you can check here is that if the length of this string plus this string is equal to the length of the final S3 string, then the answer might happen. If they are not same, then the answer is perfectly not equal. That is the answer to be true or false. We just have to return true or false. So that case you can keep in mind. The other case can be okay, sorry. Yeah, so other case can be that if you have these strings, you can make a DP table, DP of I and J. Okay, and what this DP defined, we will go over that in a moment. But let's say that how we can define out a state in this example. Let's say that I have this AB and I have like this whole string. My I is at this pointer and my J is starting at this pointer. Now DP of IJ states that if I have, let's say if I have gone through, like if I have taken a string till I, like if my I is at this point, and if I've taken a string till J, this J is at this point, then whether it is possible to form a interweaving substate for this example we're talking about. So if we are talking about this example and we are somewhat at K, okay, somewhat like this pointer is K, it is moving till this point, whether it is possible that I can form a string till K using when my I is at this point and J at this point. If it is possible, then the answer turns out to be true, as the answer turns out to be false. And let us go over an example to even make it more clear. Okay, so you might be understanding ki You might not be understanding too much, but let us go over one example, so it will become very clear to you. Okay, cool. So what you will do here is that you will take one pointer here, that is I, that is j, and this turns out to be k. Now what you can do here is that you will compare your ith pointer with the kth pointer. Okay, if they are same, but what you can observe is that my j is also there. My j is also equal to this k pointer. So I can either move this value also, like this j also, I can move I also. So what is your better move at this point? Your better move at this point is, okay, I can call a function call. I can do, like, let's say that the function call is okay. I can move my I at one step, and k will also move in one step, and j remains the same. Okay, just I say I and j should be, and k plus 1. The other case can be, okay, of I will not move, but j will move to the next step, and k will also move to the next step. Okay, if both of these cases happen, then whatever, like, if both of them returns true, then it is fine. If anyone, so if maybe this returns true, that this state, if I move my I to the next step, in the end answer it turns out to be true, then just take this as a original step, like DP state. I'll take this. So we are taking out or of both of these answer, because like whatever turns out to be true, that is the best state possible. Because see, if moving my I gives our answer, like dp of ij means that if I take out this as a substate, it eventually boils down to our correct answer. So if this turns out to be true, then take out this part. If this turns out to be true, then take out this part. If both are turns out to be true, take any of the options. If both turns out to be false, then leading to any of the values not perfect, the answer might be wrong. This is one state. The other case can be, okay, my k is matching only with I, so I have no other options. I cannot move j, because if this is a, I can only move I pointer, so I will move. If a, like this kth pointer is moving to, like, matching to only j pointer, so okay, then I will move my jth pointer only. If my I and j are both non-matching with k, so let's say my I is at this point and my j at this point, let's say, and I'm matching with this pointer, that is I, both of them is b and c that are different from k. So it means that I cannot match any of the pointers to this. So it means that I'm placing one of the characters at this point, and then I'm moving my ith pointer to the next point. If both of them are different, then I cannot take any of them. So it means that, like, the answer turns out to be false at this particular state. And that is how you can define a state and store the value. So dp of ij. So let us move on to the code part to even make it more clear. So what I've done here is that first condition, you can check out that if the length of I plus length of s1 plus s2 is not equal to s of 3, then answer is obviously false at this particular point. Then you can make a dp table, turns out to be, like, initialize everything with -1, because we do not have it iterated over any of the states. Then call this function with s1, s2, s3 as the strings, and 0, 0, 0, which means that there are 3 pointers, one at the I, j, and k. Cool. So these are the 3 pointers, s1, s2, s3. Just pass them by reference, not by value. Okay, and what you can see here is, so that it will become very fast. Then what you can see here is that if at any moment of time my k turns out to be its length, which means that I iterated over the whole string and my kth pointer turns out to be at the end point, at that particular point my I and j should also be at the length. If at that point it also turns out to be true, then the dp state is true, else the answer is false. Okay, if at any point of time my I and j turns out to be not -1, which means that I have already calculated out the dp state, then we just return out that dp state value. Okay, then we have the other options. If we have not iterated over the base case and the dp state, then find out the actual logic. The actual logic turns out to be this, that if my ith pointer and the kth pointer are same, like the value at these 2 points at the string, and the j value also same. So I've told you that if my I and k are same, but as well as k and j are same, then I have 2 options. Both of them I can call, like, I can take either this one or take this one. So I just check the first one. If this gives me a true, then fill this dp table with this value. Else if it's not true, then take this dp value. So whatever you can take. Okay, or else if only my I is equal to k, not my j, then return this OK value with only dp of ij. So it means that I'm calling this OK function with moving my I only and with k only, not moving j. Or else if my k is equal to j value but not I will only increment my j and k, not I. And if any one of them is not true, then the answer turns out to be false of that. And that's the whole logic. You just have to define out a substrate value and then the total value. Now coming down to the time complexity and space complexity, we have made a whole dB table of 100. So it is like O of n square, n is the length of that. And we have iterated over the whole string. In worst case, we have iterated over the whole two strings. And if we have, if we want to get access to any subset, we can use that. So the answer turns out to be O of n square also for this example. So that's the whole time complexity and space complexity for this problem. If you still have any doubts, you can mention now. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next one. Coding, and bye.